Hello and welcome back everybody to another faction introduction video in Urban War. My name is Roland and today we are looking at the Triad faction. The Triads are a sub-faction of the Vasa, the police in the Urban War universe. And when the war in Iskandria kicks off, the Vasa is initially reluctant to directly join the combat and enlists its allies, the Triads, the Asian gangster syndicates. Of course, it only takes a little while for the Vasa to realize that the Triads, just as much as the gladiators for the Junker faction, are going out on their own and look after their own interests. As usual, you have some requirements. You must at least put 4 retainers, either with ghost rifles or naginatas, in your squad, and the usual caliber rules apply. So the retainer is the basic foot soldier of the Triads, and they come in 2 flavors, with a gauss rifle or with a naginata polearm. I do recommend having a mixture of both because the naginata is actually really good. So the retainer sniper is something you see rather rarely. Number one, it doesn't have all the special rules that you would want in a sniper. It has a sniper rifle, yes, granted, but it doesn't have the sniper or marksman special rules. And also the Triads don't really go for these modern kind of weaponry. They are very much about code of honor and looking your opponent in the eye. You will see that in a moment. A lot of the Triad faction is close combat oriented. When we go further, the Tiger Claw is essentially the bazooka for the Triads, and the Triad boss is your natural leader. When we go further, we start having our special models. So for example, the Dragonfly is a jump trooper, just like the Archangels, or for the Vasa faction that we will look at another time, the jump troopers that are the Red Guard and the Black Legion. Then it gets really heavy, the Oni class Shogun battlesuit. And they come in 2 outfits again. You can get heavy armor for them, and they are really good. They have 2 wounds and soak up a lot of fire. Assault 5, shooting 4, strength 6, toughness 5. So one of my things is I have Oni with a combat blade and battle shield, so you get an additional toughness boost with the shield. If you are looking for a little bit more fragile, I mean, talk about toughness 5 and 6, not really fragile anymore, but if you want to go for that extra boost in close combat, you go for the guy that has the naginata. Then a typical Asian feature, the Sumatori. They also come in 2 loadouts. Number 1 is the club and number 2 is 2 combat blades. The difference is in the caliber, and they are basically the shock marines for the Triads. They are really good, soak up a lot of fire, but since they are not having a shield with toughness 5, it is getting a little bit more difficult to keep them alive. Another close combat trooper is the Kabuki doll, which is essentially the female version of the Sumatori with 2 loadouts and 2 different cal settings. They have naginatas or combat blades and a shuriken. Shuriken is something a couple of these units have, and they are essentially a close range shooting attack. Then if you want more firepower, the Dragon rocket launcher team, you will need a spotter, but the Dragon rocket launcher is essentially the mortar or the rocket launcher of other factions, and in larger games it is definitely worthwhile having them. Another close combat troop is the Hatamoto. They come with either naginatas or combat blades, just like the Oni, but they are ordinary foot soldiers, not as heavily armored. The Hatamoto Viper Wing is the same guy without the battle shield on a motorbike, so they are much faster with move 8, much tougher with a toughness of 6, and they cost a few points more, obviously. We are already at the command level, and they have essentially 3 models. Lotus is the command model as a Kabuki doll, and if you put her on the field, Kabuki dolls can use her command. Hiro Takahashi is the same thing as a retainer, so retainers can use his command when they are close by. Mayumi is a dragonfly, a jump trooper, and she boosts the morale of the jump troopers. And that is it for the Triads faction. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to see you on the next one when I look at the Vasa faction.